Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV for your NBA Finals Game 3 preview, your Fade the Public preview for Game 3, Wednesday night, June the 7th, Denver Nuggets at the Miami Heat. Series is now tied up 1-1. Didn't look likely after Game 1, especially with Denver as an 8 to 8.5 point favorite in Game 2. But the Miami Heat overcame a 15-point deficit in the first half, trailed by 8 entering the fourth quarter, and ended up winning outright with another huge start to the fourth quarter, just like they did in Game 1 when they almost got the backdoor cover. This time they got the outright win. We'll see if they can do it again in Game 3. I'll let you know where the public is on both the side and total. We'll also take a deep dive into some player props in Game 3 for Wednesday night as well, right here on Wager Talk TV. Quick reminder, we're talking the NBA Finals, but if you want to make money over the next several months, baseball is your daily bread and butter sport. It's a fantastic time of the year to build your bankroll as you get closer to the football season, just a couple months away. And now's the time to do it because you're saving big with the buy 2 weeks, get 2 free weeks at wagertalk.com. Here's how it works. It's a 30-day special, but normally 7 days alone is 99. So if you're to get 14 days, it'd be 198. But right now you can get 30 days for the exact same price, just 198. No promo code needed. It's like buying 2 weeks and getting the next 16 days over 2 more weeks included for free. Instant discount right now on my page, Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. You get the rest of the NBA Finals and, more importantly, baseball on a daily basis for the next 30 days and nights. It's the price of 2 weeks, but you get 30 days for just $198. No promo code needed. Check it out right now, Steve Merril, wagertalk.com. Don't forget also about those free plays, daily free plays on the site and on my page as well. All right, Game 3 here. Let's first look at the public sentiment in this game. You know, Miami was a pretty public underdogs in games 1 and 2, and they're definitely a public dog in the majority of games against the Boston Celtics. So not a surprise that the public came back with them in Game 1. They're a little less so in Game 2 after losing Game 1, but the public did cash with them as an outright underdog winner. So it was surprising to me, at least, to see the public now on the Denver Nuggets in Game 3. A little zigzag as far as the public sentiment is going in this series. And after cashing with the Heat in Game 2 as a public dog, not so fast now, and it's probably because it's a much shorter spread. You know, I don't think the public necessarily thought Miami was going to win Game 2. I just think they thought they could hang close within the 8.5 points. Now the line is much shorter. In fact, as I do this video on Tuesday afternoon heading into Wednesday, line currently 2.5 across the board. There's a few straggling twos still out there, but looking like mostly Denver minus 2.5. And once again, the public is on Denver in this game. That's another reason that line is pushed up a bit. And near tip-off on Wednesday, when more public money comes in on game day and game night, I would expect that 2.5 to probably remain. Total opened as high as 216.5. It's down to 214.5 now. And of course, Game 2 landed right around this number with 219 points. And that was after a very low-scoring Game 1 in which we only saw 197 points. But once again, that was a blowout factor game in which Denver had a 21-point lead entering the fourth quarter. They kind of stalled, ran the clock down. Miami did hit some quick threes to get out to an 11-0 run in the fourth there in Game 1. That was a difficult game as far as to read too much into the total, especially since Miami only went to the free throw line twice, an NBA Finals low twice in that game. We talked about it in the preview video this past weekend here on Wager Talk TV. I thought the Heat would get more calls. I thought they would be more aggressive going towards the hoop, and that's exactly what happened. Miami had 20 free throw attempts, and they hit 18 of them. Denver had 22 and made 19 of them. So the teams combined 37 for 42 from the free throw line, 90% and 86.5% each in Game 2. And it still barely went over the total by only 3 points. And keep in mind, that total was 212, 214. It was really a lot lower than the 219 from Game 1. Closed as high as 216. And lo and behold, it lands 219, which is exactly the closing total in Game 1. So it's interesting the odds makers have bumped this one a little bit lower here now at 216 and now 214.5. The betting market, the early sharp money is coming on the under. Pretty neutral from the public. I'd say they're probably going to lean over. I wouldn't be surprised to see this total rise up a bit on Wednesday back to the 215 range. But once again, a little bit of early sharp money on the under in Game 3. I think the public might push it a little bit higher on game night. And once again, Denver 2 up to 2.5 now. And the public actually looks like they're going to probably be on the Nuggets in this one in Game 3. By the way, the point spread likely will not matter. And I'm going to be hosting NBA Tip-Off on Wednesday for Game 3 on Wager Talk TV. So check Wednesday at 4:15 Eastern live and then the replay afterwards here on Wager Talk TV. And I'll be hosting because Joe Ranieri and Kelly Stewart are going to the game on Wednesday night in Miami. So be looking for them. I'm sure they'll be courtside. They'll probably even have their feet over the foul line. So be on the lookout for Kelly Stewart, Kelly in Vegas, and Joe Ranieri on Wednesday. So I will be guest hosting And we're going to mention this stat on the show Wednesday, and it comes from Stat Daddy himself, Ralph Michaels. But I want to give you a sneak preview here, and that's the last 74 NBA final games in which the point spread's been -6 or less, which this one obviously is. The point spread has not mattered. It's an incredible stat from Ralph Michaels at WagerTalk.com. The straight up winner, 74-0 straight up, obviously, but 72-0-2 against the spread. There have been two pushes, so it hasn't been perfect, but it's never lost. Just an incredible stat. And the average line, by the way, has been half a point. So basically, pick 'em situations. But once again, this goes all the way up to -6 or less. This line is currently only 2.5, so obviously it's very close to a pick 'em. But basically, if you like Miami here, you might as well play them on the money line because odds are they're going to win outright. If you like Denver, play the -2 to 2.5. Do not play the money line, which is currently -140. Miami's +120. So once again, if you like the Heat, play +120 outright. If you like the Nuggets, -2.5, -110 versus -140. Because once again, history says since 2006, the point spread likely will not matter. If you pick the straight up winner, you're going to have the point spread winner as well. Once again, that's from Ralph Michaels. You can follow him on Twitter at CalSportsLV. Just an incredible stat. Since 2006, when the point spread is 6 or less in the NBA Finals, the straight up winner is 72-0-2 against the spread. Of course, games 1 and 2, that did not apply because the spreads were 8, 8.5, although it did apply because Denver won and covered by double digits and Miami won outright. So the spread has not mattered in either game yet, and it probably won't matter in game 3. So excellent advice from Ralph Michaels. And once again, we'll dig into that deeper on Wednesday at 4:15 Eastern right here on Wager Talk TV on NBA Tip-Off. Game 4 is Friday night. We'll have an episode also for Friday here on the channel as well. All right, let's dig into this game itself. As I mentioned, that Miami got to the free throw line more as expected. Both teams extremely hot shooting from the free throw line. They also were extremely hot shooting in game 2 from three-point range. Miami 17 for 35, 48.5%. And of course, they outshot Denver in game 1 as well, hit 33%, 13 for 39. Denver was only 8 for 27 in game 1, 29.5%. They still won by 11. Much better in game 2, 11 for 28, 39.5%. They actually outshot the Heat overall, 52 to 49% from the field, and they did make an extra free throw. So once again, Denver had more points down low and more points from the free throw line, and Miami had more three-pointers and less turnovers. Exactly how games 1 and 2 played out. The difference is Miami made 6 more threes this time, a net 18 points, and they won by 3. So both games so far, Miami's been plus 15 and plus 18 points from three-point range, yet they've been outscored by 8 points overall. That does not bode well going forward if you have to live and die by the three. Of course, the Heat have been doing this all playoffs. They were one of the most, if not the most, least efficient offensive team in the NBA during the regular season, and they basically set an NBA record at the start of the fourth quarter for efficiency. In fact, I believe it was the most efficient fourth quarter in NBA Finals history and one of the 10 most ever in playoff history. Can that continue? Well, of course it could. As a handicapper, though, I don't think we want to rely on that. So I still think Denver has a subjective and fundamental matchup edge down low with their size. Jokic had a huge game points-wise, 41 points in 42 minutes, 11 rebounds, but he only had 4 assists. He did not get the triple-double, and we can actually now get Jokic at plus money in Game 3 to have a triple-double. DraftKings has it at plus 110, minus 140 on the no. This is unusual because normally he has minus money to have a triple-double, and I think that's a good plus money bet. Obviously, they're on the road now. He did not get a lot of assists in Game 2. You could say, well, maybe Miami figured out a way to take away some of those passing options. So if you don't want to take the plus money on the triple-double, he's minus 690, by the way, for a double-double. And once again, that's going to probably be rebounds. And I don't like that bet at all because he had 10 rebounds in game 1. He got that rebound late in the fourth quarter. He only had 11 rebounds in game 2. So you're much better off playing plus 110 on the triple-double than minus 690 on the double-double because assist is probably where they're going to shut him down again. But he's barely gotten there on the rebounds both times. So you don't want to lay that much more juice at minus 690. So if you're going to look at Jokic, do the triple-double at plus 110. But you also could look at him points, rebounds, assists. He had 52 points and rebounds alone, even with only the 4 assists. This is a guy I just don't see how they can shut him down. If they take away the assist option, which they did in game 2, whether they can do that going forward, we'll see. That means he's going to get more points because that means he's just going to score. And Jokic for total points is only 28.5 in game number 3 on Wednesday. And his rebound prop is at 11.5. So it's around about 40 points in rebounds. And he had 41 points alone. So Jokic over, I think, makes a lot of sense. The two other big guys we've talked about, Aaron Gordon had a huge game 1. I did mention here on the show, on the video on Saturday, and also on the NBA tip-off show last week, that I thought Gordon's over is worth a look, but I was a little concerned that they shut him down a bit in the second half of game one. Overall, game two, he finished with 21 points, rebounds, and assists, just came a little bit under. Porter Jr., I believe it was 21 and a half was the total, by the way. Porter Jr., Michael Porter Jr., we mentioned on the video on game two that I thought his over 24 and a half point rebounds assists was worth a look. He did not have a good game. Only 5 points, 6 rebounds, no assists. So he went way underperformed. Obviously, we look for the bounce back because, by the way, his points rebounds now is only 21 and a half point rebounds, assists, 23 and a half for game three. This is Michael Porter Jr. So we do get some adjusted line value. My concern, though, here is that he played a lot less minutes. He played 26 minutes in game two versus 43 minutes in game one. He took 16 field goal attempts in game one, only 8 in game two. He was 2 from 11 shooting from three in game one. He was 1 for 6 in game two. And I think that's the main reason they pulled him out. He was shooting awful. So I am worried about his minutes. I'm a little lukewarm on Michael Porter Jr. If I knew he was going to play the normal 38 to 40 minutes, I'd like the overs for his points, rebounds. But the fact his minutes were cut nearly a third in game two is a concern. So tread lightly with that one for that reason. Let's go over to the Miami Heat here for some player props. Jimmy Butler, he only had 13 points in game one. Obviously, we expected a bounce back effort in game two, and we obviously got that with the Heat winning, but he still only had 21 points and was only 7 for 19 shooting. In fact, he's now 13 for 33 shooting in this series. Butler's a bit of a bully. He's a muscle guy. He takes the ball to the hoop. He draws fouls. I thought they would do that more after only 2 free throw attempts in game one. He probably will get some calls on his home court in game three. By the way, we don't have the referee assignments yet as of Tuesday when I do this video. I would think Scott Foster's going to be game three. If not, he will definitely be game four because he hasn't worked either game yet. So keep an eye on that. Not really sure who the NBA would have that favor. If Foster works game four, I would say whichever team is down 2-1 is probably going to get the calls. So maybe we will not see him in game three on Wednesday. We'll check that. And by the way, we will talk more about that on the NBA tip-off show Wednesday afternoon at 4:15 Eastern here on WagerTalk TV. We will have the referee assignments at that time. But Butler's a guy I don't think matches up well against his big lineup because he's not a great shooter. He's only 3 for 7. He has 3 for 7, a decent 3 for 7 from three. But keep in mind, in game 7 against the Celtics, he was 3 for 7 just in that game. So he's not getting as many shots off. I do feel like Denver's doing a decent job defensively on Butler. So a Butler under prop, a little bit of a contrarian call there, could be worth a look. His points is at 25 and a half. Rebounds is at 7. Butler under 25 and a half points. Normally after 2 subpar games in which he's had only 13 and 21, you would expect a breakout. But I think matchup-wise, Denver is capable of shutting him down a little bit more. That means somebody else might pick up the workload. Caleb Martin's done absolutely nothing so far in the 2 games after a huge game 7 against Boston. So I really don't know what to make of him. A guy we talked about a couple times the last few weeks, Kevin Love, the veteran Kevin Love, 34 years old out of UCLA. Did not play in games 5 or 6 and 7 against the Celtics. Did not play at all in game 1. And then I talked about him in the video in game 2. I said, I think he'll get some minutes. Well, not only did he get minutes, but an hour before the game, I tweeted it out. Kevin Love in the starting lineup doesn't play for 3 straight games, and then he's in the starting lineup because that's once again why the zigzag works in the NBA playoffs because teams have to make adjustments after subpar performances. So anyway, Kevin Love gets 22 minutes in game 2. He has 6 points. Took 9 shot attempts. It was 2 for 6 from 3-point range and had 10 rebounds and even 2 steals. So you got to imagine he's going to see some minutes again. And since they won that game and it worked, got to think he'll probably be starting again as well. As far as the prop market, there's no points, at least at DraftKings. There's no prop on his points. His rebounds is 4.5, minus 175 to the over. So obviously some heavy juice on that one. Really can't recommend that just due to the fact it's such high juice. His player points and rebounds is maybe a little bit more reasonable at 10.5 over minus 130. So once again, if Love gets more minutes, over 10.5 points, rebounds makes a sense. If he hits at least 1-3, we get 3 right there. Once again, his rebounds, probably the true odds are around 5. So his points are about 5.5. Kevin Love, though, should play a pretty big role again like he did in game 2, at least early on. And then we'll see if they keep him in there or not. One other guy I want to mention, Duncan Robinson. We talk about Lonnie Walker, the fourth for the Lakers, coming out of nowhere in that fourth quarter against the Warriors, where Duncan Robinson did that in the second half. He ended up with only 10 points, but he had some big baskets down the stretch. 4 for 5 shooting, 2 for 3 from 3-point range. Played only 17 minutes after playing 21 minutes with only 3 points in game 1. Do have to wonder if they'll give him a bigger role, though, here in game 2. Really don't see many props on him right now. I'm checking DraftKings. Points and rebounds are not listed, so I'm not sure what we can do with Duncan Robinson, but I think he will get a little bit more court time for Miami in game three. And then finally, probably the best player for Miami, other than Butler, obviously, is a Bam Adebayo. Bam is actually having a really good series, 26 points in game one, 21 points in game two, and he's taken a lot of shot attempts. And my theory is that will continue. Once again, I think Butler will continue to underperform. Bam will continue to overperform. And the reason being, the only way Miami can win this series or these games is by hitting the 3-point shot, like we discussed earlier. So I think they're willing to try to take away the three, the Denver defense, which means Bam's going to get more 2-point attempts and baskets. And that's been the case so far. He's taken 39 field goal attempts. 38 of those 39 field goal attempts have been for 2-point range. He's only 0 for 1 from three, and he's a combined 21 for 38 from 2-point range in the games with 47 points combined. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I always like to take a zigzag approach, as you know, with NBA playoff props, but Butler under 25.5, Bam Adebayo over 18.5 points, I think continues to work. And that's a perfect 4-0 so far in games one and two. All right, a little quick hitter, fade the public style for you on Tuesday into Wednesday here for game three NBA Finals on Wednesday night. Don't forget myself and others, Ski Profit and others, Rob Vino is going to be on, and Tony Finn, I believe, are going to take a deep dive into game three on Wednesday at 4:15 Eastern here on NBA TV. I'll be guest hosting for Joe Ranieri, who will be in attendance at game three, rooting on his Miami Heat with Kelly Stewart as well from WagerTalk.com. So a little WagerTalk.com in the house at NBA Finals Wednesday night in Miami. Love to see it. And we love your support as well. So leave me some comments below. Let me know your thoughts on game three, side and total, where you agree with the public or disagree. Also, player props you're looking at. Which guys can we ride? Which guys can we fade here in game three on Wednesday night? If you haven't already done so, give this video a thumbs up, a like, and make sure you hit subscribe and hit that bell for instant alerts. You know, when I sneak these Fade the Public videos in, whether it's the NFL, NBA, college hoops, or maybe some baseball content this summer during the sleepy days of summer, make sure you hit that bell for instant alerts so you can watch these videos in the first to get some actionable info here on Wager Talk TV. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts on game three. And don't forget about baseball. 30-day all sports special is still available right now at wagertalk.com. No promo code needed. It's basically buy 2 weeks and get another 2+ weeks for free, because a 7-day package is $99. 2 weeks is $198. You're getting 30 days for $198. So you buy those 2 weeks, you're getting another 16 days for free. No promo code needed. That's the rest of the NBA Finals, my game three, my game four, my game five best bets. Also, my baseball best bets on a daily basis every day and night for the next 30 days and nights. Everything for just $198. No promo code needed. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Don't forget about free plays daily on my page at WagerTalk.com. And check me out on Twitter at Steve Merril. 2 R's, 1 L, Merril, at Steve Merril on Twitter for great free information. I'll be back perhaps with a Game 4 update or maybe a Game 5 update. We'll see when we can squeeze these videos in. Yet another reason to hit subscribe and hit that bell for instant alerts right here on Wager Talk TV. Thanks for watching. Comment below. Enjoy the game, and I'll talk to you again soon right here on Wager Talk TV.